Let's connect our Google Search Console data to Google BigQuery. A disclaimer first, there is a native way to do it directly to Google BigQuery, which is a bit more technical. With Power Metrics, my favorite method, not only because it is my startup, it is because we made it the most simple way possible. So I will go to powermetrics.com and I will sign in with my Google account. Once on Porter, I will click on Create and I will select Google BigQuery as destination. Here, I can select Google Search Console as the data source, but if you want to blend Search Console with other data like GA4, Google Sheets, and Google Ads, you can do it right here and we will do it automatically. Here, for this tutorial, I am only connecting Google Search Console and I will name this connection SEO so I can organize my data. In the case I want to create multiple connections, this is a simple way to do it. So here I will go to next and I will connect my Search Console account. So I will go to connect accounts and I will select one of the websites that I have previously connected. I will select my website, but also I want to show you how you can connect more websites. Here I will go to add account and I will authorize my Google account. This is my email and continue, allow. And this is as simple as that. Power Metrics will retrieve all the Google Search Console properties that my Google account has access to. And another feature that I find very interesting is in the case that you have multiple websites or multiple properties, you can combine them or consolidate them in the same report or in the same query. In the case your business, for instance, is running with multiple domains. The setup in other methods, like the native method, I will say that it is more complicated to have multi-site analysis. So here I will select this website, and also if I have another property that my email doesn't have access to, I can also connect it in the same query. Now I will continue, I will go to save, and I will continue with my website. I will go to next, and it is time to create my Google Search Console queries. Here I will go to query, and I don't need to change the data source, so there is nothing I need to do here. Now it is time to do my Google BigQuery connection or setup. Here, I will do the same process. I will log in with my Google account so I can retrieve my projects. If you are not familiar with the concept of projects or tables, I will give you a refresher here. So, remember that Google BigQuery belongs to a larger product that is called Google Cloud. And to access Google Cloud, you go to the Google Cloud Console. In Google Cloud Console, we have organizations like your company. Inside my organization, I can have projects, and inside projects on Google BigQuery, I have data sets. Inside a data set, I have a table, and inside tables, I can create queries. That's how it works. It is as simple as that. So from my Google account, I will connect this particular project, which is called marketing data, and I can set a location. In my case, I will simply choose multi-region, but if you have any compliance requirement, I encourage you to pay attention to this. Here, as dataset, I already created a dataset that is called marketing data, and my table name will be Search Console or something like this, but I will show you later how to create this table on Google BigQuery as well. I will go to Google BigQuery. You can see in the top left that my project is marketing data. I will show my project, and below my project, I will find my data sets. In my data set, I will find marketing data's data set, and I will create a new table. And the name of the table will be the same as I added in Power Metrics, which is Search Console. I will create this table and I am done. I will go back to the editor. So my Google BigQuery connection is done. It is time to build the actual query. So on metrics, remember, metrics are the numbers. For Google Search Console is impressions, clicks, average position, CTR, and so on. I will start with impressions. I will also add clicks. I can add average position, and so on. And as dimensions, I could bring, for instance, by date, by page URL, by query or keyword. So here I will add date, I will add page URL, and I am done. So in the date range, I can select dynamic date ranges or custom date ranges. Custom date ranges are, for instance, from February 1st to February 28th. I prefer dynamic date ranges because depending on the current date, it will calculate automatically. For instance, this month, this month to date, this week to date, last year, last month, last quarter, and so on. So as date range, I would like to select this year to date. As filter, I would like to select, for instance, hey, I want to exclude my branded searches, just as an example. For this example, I want to exclude particular pages, and the particular pages I want to exclude are the ones that contain the subdomain app, because I want to exclude, for instance, if my app subdomain is having any impressions in this property. This is just an example. So I have my filters and I have my sorting. In sorting, For instance, I could sort my data by clicks and descending. So I will show the pages with the most clicks in the top. And with a schedule, I can refresh as often as I want, of course, depending on the Google Search Console API limitation. So I will type something like, hey, I want you to refresh every 2 hours, every 4 hours. In this case, I am doing it with, I want to refresh daily at 8 a.m. I will select this schedule. And finally, in the settings, I want to show you how we can get this data on Google BigQuery. My favorite one is overwrite, which is simply, I will remove the old table every day at 8 a.m. and I will refresh it with the new data. But if you would like to preserve some historical data in your table, you can do appending or you can update your data. Because the Google Search Console API doesn't have these historical data limitations, at least for more than 18 months. I need to recap from the documentation. I will use this one. But if you want to make sure that you save your historical data from Google Search Console and you know that the API has a limitation of 18 months or 2 years, I encourage you to save your historical data. In this case, I would recommend you another exporting method like an appending data. Appending will simply your historical data and it will append a new table below that, but pay attention to duplicating values. I have finished my query. I will save it, and now I will run my query on Google BigQuery. Here I will play, I will finish, and if I go to my Google BigQuery account and I go to my new table, I will find the exact same fields I wanted here on Google BigQuery. So I will go to a preview and I can visualize my data. Here is how you can connect your Google Search Console data to Google BigQuery. Now, I want to show you something else. If I go back here, you will see that I created only one query, but I could create multiple queries. For instance, one query for keywords and one query for pages, and so on. Remember that the Google Search Console API might have some limitations. For instance, you may not combine page URLs and average position. Now, I will go back to my query. I will rename it and I will call it, for instance, performance by time. I will create another query with Google Search Console data. I want to show you other examples because I want to show you custom formulas and custom dimensions. Here's how it works. This time I want to do, for instance, a search terms analysis or a keywords analysis like I will do with Google Ads, for instance. I will do the same setup. I don't need to explain this anymore. I will select a project. I will select my Google account, the tables, the data sets. This part is already simple for you because you already learned how to do that. Now, what is the interesting part here? I will create a new table and this table will be search console underscore queries. This will be a particular use case. So for this new table, I will select the following metrics, clicks and impressions, and I will create a new custom metric. So the new custom metric will be calculating my own CTR, for instance. So this will be new CTR, and in natural language, I will prompt divide clicks by impressions. And as you can see, the AI will understand my formula. It will remove any issues like null values or infinite values because I have this conditional that turns them into zero. So the formula is already perfectly created. I will turn this number into a percentage and I will create this formula. This is how you can create custom metrics with Potter. Now I will do the same with dimensions, which is my favorite for my SEO analysis. Here I will select queries and I will go to create dimensions and I will break down my data by branded and non-branded searches. So I will say, hey, if the query contains the word Potter metrics or Potter, tag it as branded. If not, tag it as non-branded, as simple as that. This will create a regular expression that will follow my instruction and we can see an example. I can see that, for instance, Instagram Reels dashboard, which we rank for, is non-branded and Power Metrics is branded. This is perfectly calculated and this will help you clean your SEO data because branded searches is not SEO, is branding. So here I will go to create, I will go to dimensions, and I will follow the same process. In date range, for instance, this year to date, maybe I can remove the filters or I can add a filter like excluding the query that contains something. YouTube is the one that I use here. And as sorting, I would like to sort my data by click. So I will choose descending. And finally, in the schedule, again, you can do any kind of a schedule in natural language. I will do weekly on Mondays at 5 p.m. This understands my intent. And I will do again the overwrite as the exporting mode to Google BigQuery. I will save this query. I will export it again. And you are already a master of sending your Google Search Console data to Google BigQuery. I will see you in another tutorial. Bye.